Taimur, also known as Timur or Tamerlane, was a 14th century Turco-Mongol conqueror who established the Timurid Empire in and around modern-day Iran and Central Asia. Born in 1336 in Kesh, now Shahrazabs, Uzbekistan, he claimed descent from Genghis Khan through his Chagatai line, though his legitimacy was often questioned. Timur is known for his military genius, extensive conquests, and ruthless tactics. Taimur was born into the Barlas tribe, a Turkicized Mongol tribe. From an early age, he demonstrated exceptional military and leadership skills. By his late 20s, Taimur began consolidating power in Transoxiana, defeating rival tribes and local rulers. His rise was marked by strategic marriages and alliances. In 1370, Taimur declared himself the ruler of Transoxiana, founding the Timurid Empire. He established Samarkand as his capital, transforming it into a cultural and economic hub. Over the next few decades, Taimur expanded his empire through a series of military campaigns across Central Asia, Persia, and beyond. Taimur's military campaigns were characterized by their swiftness, precision, and brutality. He employed psychological warfare, instilling fear in his enemies through massacres and public displays of violence. His armies were highly disciplined and used advanced siege technologies and cavalry tactics. One of Taimur's significant early campaigns was the conquest of Persia. Starting in the late 1380s, he invaded the region, capturing key cities like Herat, Isfahan, and Shiraz. His campaigns in Persia were marked by widespread destruction and the massacre of civilians, particularly in Isfahan, where it's estimated he killed up to 70,000 people. In the 1390s, Taimur turned his attention to the Caucasus and Russia. He launched campaigns against the Golden Horde and the Kingdom of Georgia, devastating the region and sacking cities like Astrakhan and Moscow. His invasions significantly weakened the Golden Horde. One of Taimur's most famous campaigns was his invasion of India in 1398. He crossed the Indus River and advanced towards Delhi, defeating the Sultanate's forces at the Battle of Delhi. The city was sacked, and thousands of inhabitants were killed. This invasion further showcased his ruthlessness. Taimur's campaigns also extended into Anatolia, where he confronted the Ottoman Empire. In 1402, he defeated Sultan Bayezid I at the Battle of Ankara, capturing the Sultan and causing a temporary collapse of Ottoman power. This victory solidified Taimur's reputation as a formidable military leader. Taimur's ambitions also led him to the Middle East. He launched campaigns against the Mamluks in Syria and Egypt, capturing cities like Aleppo and Damascus. His forces laid waste to these cities, causing significant casualties and destruction. In 1401, Taimur captured Baghdad, one of the most significant cultural and commercial centers of the Islamic world. The city was subjected to a brutal sack, with an estimated 20,000 inhabitants killed. This event further cemented his legacy of ruthlessness. Despite his brutality, Taimur was also a skilled administrator. He implemented effective governance structures in his empire, appointing capable administrators and promoting trade and commerce. He fostered cultural and intellectual development, supporting artists, architects, and scholars. Taimur's patronage of the arts led to a cultural renaissance in Central Asia. He commissioned numerous architectural projects, including mosques, palaces, and gardens. Samarkand, his capital, became a center of art, science, and literature, attracting talent from across the Muslim world. Taimur's architectural legacy includes some of the most impressive monuments of the Islamic world. The Gurya Mir, his mausoleum in Samarkand, is a masterpiece of Timurid architecture. His contributions significantly influenced the architectural styles of the Mughal Empire in India. Taimur's death in 1405 led to a power struggle among his descendants. His empire fragmented, but his legacy continued through the Timurid dynasty. Notably, his great-great-grandson, Babur, founded the Mughal Empire in India, extending Timur's influence. Estimating the total number of deaths caused by Timur's campaigns is challenging due to the lack of precise records. However, historians estimate that his conquests resulted in the deaths of between 15 to 20 million people, making him one of history's most lethal conquerors. Taimur used diplomacy and strategic marriages to strengthen his position. He established alliances with neighboring states and married his daughters to influential leaders, securing political and military support. Women in Timur's empire played significant roles in politics and society. His wives and daughters often acted as advisors and held considerable influence. Timur's policies towards women reflected a blend of traditional Mongol customs and Islamic practices. Timur's use of terror as a weapon had a lasting psychological impact on the regions he conquered. His reputation for brutality preceded him, often leading to cities surrendering without a fight to avoid massacre and destruction. Taimur was a devout Muslim and saw himself as a champion of Islam. He justified his campaigns as a means of spreading and defending the faith, though his actions often contradicted Islamic principles of justice and mercy. Although Taimur was of Turkic-Mongol descent, his relationship with the Mongols was complex. He sought to legitimize his rule by claiming descent from Genghis Khan but often found himself in conflict with various Mongol factions. Despite his ruthlessness, Taimur respected and patronized scholars and intellectuals. He invited theologians, scientists, and poets to his court, fostering an environment of learning and cultural exchange. Taimur implemented a code of law to govern his empire, combining elements of Islamic law with traditional Mongol practices. His legal reforms aimed at ensuring justice and stability in his vast and diverse empire. Taimur's economic policies focused on reviving trade and commerce. He rebuilt and improved infrastructure, including roads and caravans, facilitating trade across his empire. His capital, Samarkand, became a major trade hub on the Silk Road. Taimur died in 1405 while on a campaign to conquer China. He fell ill and died in Otrar, now in Kazakhstan. His death marked the end of his military campaigns and the beginning of the decline of his empire, though his legacy endured. The period of Taimur's rule and the subsequent Timurid dynasty is often referred to as the Timurid Renaissance. This era saw a flourishing of arts, science, and culture, with significant contributions in architecture, literature, and astronomy. Following Taimur's death, his empire gradually fragmented due to internal strife and external pressures. His descendants struggled to maintain control, leading to the rise of rival powers and the eventual decline of the Timurid Empire. The Timurid legacy continued through the Mughal Empire, founded by Babur, a descendant of Taimur. The Mughals adopted many aspects of Timurid culture and administration, and their empire in India became one of the most significant successors of Taimur's legacy. In the closing moments of our exploration into the life of Taimur, we find ourselves confronted with a complex figure whose legacy is as turbulent as the era he lived in. Taimur's relentless military campaigns, marked by strategic brilliance and ruthless tactics, reshaped the political and cultural landscapes of Central Asia, Persia, and beyond. His patronage of the arts and architecture left a lasting impact, with monuments like the Guryamir standing as a testament to his cultural legacy. Yet, Taimur's legacy is also one of controversy, with accounts of widespread destruction and immense human suffering. As we reflect on Taimur's life, we are reminded of the complexities of history, where figures like Taimur are not merely conquerors, but also architects of empires and cultural patrons, leaving behind a legacy that continues to be studied and debated to this day. Are you aware that the famous Bollywood stars and actors Saif Ali Khan and Kareena Kapoor Khan named their son after the historical figure Taimur? Don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, and share the video. Also follow us on WhatsApp. the sarcastic historian.